Hey guys, here we are for the second video of my Marvel Cinematic Universe reviews. The third movie I'm going to be talking about is The Incredible Hulk. This is directed by Louis Terrier, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, starring Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. Watching this movie was a very interesting experience because I have not seen this movie for like the last 2 or 3 years. And I like to say that this film was pretty enjoyable. The story is that Edward Norton as Bruce Banner is an outcast. He's a runaway ever since his experiment with his girlfriend and her dad, the General Ross, and now he's after to get him because he doesn't want his reputation to be tainted since his experiment for a super soldier has gone wrong. And here we are with Bruce Banner on the run. The things I'll talk about first are, of course, my positives. The first one being, what I kind of already talked about a little bit, is the aspect of Bruce Banner on the run. He's a runaway, he's an outcast, and during this film you see this interpretation of Bruce Banner in, I believe, South America. The way they present the Hulk is a very intriguing thing in this whole entire film because it makes it feel like it's a horror film. This is a little bit different. It's about an outcast and somebody who's not usually seen as a hero per se. But the action, I believe, was really good. Yeah, it's not the best action I've ever seen, but for a Hulk film, I found it quite entertaining. Okay. Negatives in the film is that this movie does have quite a few of pacing issues, I'm not gonna lie. There's some sequences when you go back to General Ross and this other villain, I always forget his name because he's such a forgettable character, which is also another negative. I don't really understand this guy's motivation. Yeah, he wants more power, yeah, he's more hungry, but the script for him is honestly super lazy. I feel like they just kind of chimed him in and they didn't really give any much thought except for maybe the Hulk's character, and that's it. And the other thing that I didn't quite enjoy as much as I wanted to, rewatching it again, was the third act. Now, I had a great time watching the Hulk smack down on the Abomination, and the same way, vice versa. But the way how it transcends into this one guy who's evil, and then he gets even more evil when he gets this serum inside of him and turns into this random creature. I just thought that was really lazy and just a way to cash grab people into being like, here's this awesome fight sequence with the Hulk and the Abomination. Overall, I did enjoy this film. Yeah, there's some messy things throughout the film, but I got over some of it. Some of it I just couldn't let slip by because of the script. My score for The Incredible Hulk is going to be a worth seeing. Now, if you want to get a specific score, like a number score, I would give The Incredible Hulk a 7.4 out of 10. The next film I'm going to be talking about is something I have not seen in probably 5 years because I didn't really like it as much as I did when I saw it in theaters. Iron Man 2, directed by Jon Favreau. He has taken the seat yet again as the director from the previous film, Iron Man, which was a phenomenal film and broke so many grounds for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now with this film, I admit there was a lot of expectations because it's a sequel from a film like Iron Man, which is considered as one of the best comic book films of all time. Now I'll just say this, the story is actually pretty similar to the first Iron Man. What I mean by that is that you have this character played by Sam Rockwell, Justin Hammer, who wants to beat Tony Stark, who feels he is overshadowed by Tony Stark. Kind of reminds me of Obadiah Stane from the previous film. He wants to get rid of him because he's making him lose money, just like Justin Hammer. Oh, there's this random Russian dude played by Mickey Rourke who wants to help him. Oh, what happened with him? His dad, I guess, was a Russian spy, and he's really mad at him because his dad died. Now he wants to kill Tony Stark because his daddy died and felt like he stole plans from him and ruined his legacy. It just doesn't really add up. And I just realized I'm talking about my negatives, so I'm going to talk about my negatives first. I bet you can already tell that one of my negatives is the aspect of the villains. So pretty much, it's just the same thing we've already seen with Iron Man 1. I don't need to repeat it again. Another thing that kind of irked me was that Tony had to literally relearn his lesson from the first film. I get it, we are all human, and sometimes we have to backtrack to actually get those 2 extra steps to getting better from who we used to be. But from my perspective of watching Iron Man 1, I felt like his ego slightly went down a little bit, or at least a good chunk, but it seems like he's still the same exact person by the first 5 minutes of meeting him before he gets into the wreck in Iraq. Now, getting the negatives out of the way, let's talk about the things that I loved. It's not necessarily the story, because yet again, it's a repeat somewhat of Iron Man, but I do have to admit, the action kind of took a step up in this film. There was a lot of epic sequences, specifically, yes, with Mickey Rourke's character, Ivan Vanko, I believe that was his name, very forgettable character, but the scene where he's on the racing track and he's slicing up all the cars, I was really pumped. Robert Downey Jr. yet again pulls off really the character of Tony Stark. Yes, he's a little bit more annoying in this film, but he's doing what he's told, and I have to admit, great job, Tony Stark. And Black Widow is a very welcome new character in this franchise and really staples what kind of woman she is and what kind of person you do not want to mess with. And Natasha Romanoff is a person who will kick your butt. But I really enjoyed the sequences with everything that had to do with S.H.I.E.L.D. Specifically, my personal favorite scene was Samuel Jackson and Robert Downey Jr. in the donut shop. Iron Man 2 is a film that is entertaining, but with repeated sequences and repeated story elements from the previous film, Iron Man, but yet is somewhat saved by the action sequences, the acting, and Black Widow. I'm just saying, I love me some Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to give Iron Man 2 and also worth seeing. And yet again, if you want a specific score for this film, I would give it exactly a 7.0. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of The Incredible Hulk, also Iron Man 2. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and tell all your friends and family about this channel, the JC Movie Reviews. Wait, I almost forgot. Have a great day or night, and be blessed.